So hey folks, and good morning, welcome back to the channel. On today's video we're actually out on the MT10. It's a lovely sunny day this Sunday, so I thought I'd get out, and in this video we're going to reveal what bike I'm adding to the fleet. Finally going to tell you, can't keep a secret, so I'm going to let you know about that. There's a reason behind that, because some other comparable bikes have just come on the market, or one has. I wanted to check that out first to see whether I'd make the right choice or not. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back folks. Here she is, the beauty. Not going to get rid of this one, but I am going to tell you, like I said, about the new bike that I'm going to be getting. It's not going to be coming till December, but I just wanted to let you know, and yeah, I can't keep a secret. So let's get the bike started, get underway, and then I'll fill you in. Now we are filming with the DJI Osmo Action 3, and I have put the new ND4 filter on it, so hopefully the picture quality is fantastic now, and I don't need to touch any settings, just like I have the Osmo Action 2 with the ND4 filter on the dash just here looking back at me. So let's get underway, and I'll tell you all about it. Okay, so a few of you guessed it right, and a few of you were close. It was a toss-up between the Tiger Rally Explorer, the 1200, the new 1200 that I did the trip on. And the only thing that actually stopped me going for that bike was, A, it's more expensive, but the main thing is it's an adventure bike, and how many adventures do I do every year, and would I actually be able to ride that bike to its full potential, or would it just be sat in the garage collecting dust, which I think it might be until I go on a big trip. So I wanted a bike that I could use daily. I wanted a bike that I could go on short weekend breaks and big trips on as well, but I wanted a classic. Now a few of you, like I say, guessed it right. It is the Bonneville, and it is the T120 that will be coming in December. Now there's a few reasons why I went for the T120 over the T100, and the main two being the 6-speed gearbox, and also it has cruise control. Because the plan is next year to do a Europe trip on the T120, and cruise control comes in handy, also does that 6 gear. Now, as you can imagine, I've already gone through in my mind and checked out what luggage I can fit on that bike, and all the bling and accessories that I want to do to it. There's loads of companies out there, including one very famous one called Motouk, which do parts for classic bikes. So I've already got my my browser pinpointed or bookmarked for all of those, and I can't wait really to get hold of the bike now. It will be coming new to me, and brand new, and I just need a couple of months more salary to get to the money, so I can go and purchase it. So bear with me on that. I will be doing a bike reveal, and you'll see a lot on the channel obviously next year. Now, with me looking for a classic motorcycle, I actually looked at quite a few, and I looked at Royal Enfield as an option, being the 650 Interceptor, which is quite a lot cheaper at about $6.5 grand compared to 11,250 for the T120 Bonneville. And as I wanted to do some big trips on it and weekends away and a Europe trip and things, I think the Interceptor 650, although it could have done the trip, and I think the T120 will be more suitable. I also love the look and the engine in the T120 a lot more than the 650 Interceptor. I just think the finish on the Triumphs is a lot nicer and a little bit more refined, especially that 1200 parallel twin engine, which I absolutely adore, as you know if you watch the channel. Now, last week we had Norton announce that they're putting into production the Commando 961. I got sent the press briefing on that, and initially I was super excited when I saw it, given the fact that, you know, what Norton have been through in the last few years, and now they've built this new super factory in Birmingham to hand produce these motorcycles. I thought, okay, let's have a look at these Nortons. So I went through the press briefing, looked at all of the figures and things like that. I think it produces about 78 brake horsepower and about 80 newton meters of torque. The bike itself, while I do like the looks of it, initially looked at the price and I thought, that's not bad. I thought it was going to be a lot more compared to the other Nortons that they announced at the end of last year at the motorcycle show, being mega expensive. And while they are hand built, I just think that even the new Commando that they've announced, the 961, is a little bit pricey. Now let me share the price with you, and also some of the specs I'll put on screen just here, and some pictures of the new Commando. Now they offer the bike in two colours, one being silver and one black. They also offer it in two variants, one being the Sport, and then the other version, which is the Cafe Racer. So nearly 17 grand for a classic motorcycle, modern day classic, Norton Commando 961. So at this point I started looking at some of the reviews, or the first initial thoughts of some of the press videos that went out. It was a select group of media that went to the first ride and look at this bike. So on the videos, this is where some of the things that kind of struck me on the bike, that yes, they've put really great components on, Brembo brakes, Olin suspension, all the blingy bits you would expect from Norton to do. And then the elephant in the room hit me when I looked at the dash area, the clamps, the triple trees on top, and also the fork clamps halfway down. Now it looks like, I don't know what material they're made out of, or whether they've been powder coated, but it still looks like they're in like a primer colour. And also around the clocks, they've extended that to sort of surround and go in between the clocks, and it kind of looks unfinished. I think one of the joys of riding any motorcycle is the cockpit area. You want it to look nice, and especially if you're on a modern day classic, you want that classic look, the big twin clocks up there, which it has, although I'm not so keen on the dials. They could have made them a little bit more intricate, like the T120 and the T100 Bonnevilles. So that was the first thing that I didn't like. The second thing that I didn't like was that on the engine, and in between the engine and the frame, and even the side panel on the motorcycle, there's gaps or space. Now on the Bonneville you've got some space actually underneath where the throttle bodies, or the fuel injection dummy carbs are, and the base of the engine, but there's just a little bit too much space, especially by the panels on the side of the Commando. So I thought that was a little bit odd. Why didn't they just make the panels a little bit bigger, just to, you know, make it look a little bit nicer? Now initially those were only the two things that I looked at, and I thought, not keen on that. Now I do want to reserve judgment. Obviously it's not going to be till next summer before I will get the opportunity to ride one of these motorcycles. And on the videos of a couple of journalists, I found it a little bit annoying that they were just saying nice things about the bike, and I think journalism's going off in a funny angle at the moment, especially with the media, the main media channels, not just motorcycling. But if you're asked to come to Norton to test ride a motorcycle and give your opinion on it, it should be an honest review, an honest opinion of what you think of it. A couple of journalists, I won't name names or channels, beefed it up and loved the bike, and it was the next best thing to sliced bread. A couple of the other channels were quite truthful. They said the side stand was very difficult to get to. They also said one of the switch clusters, not sure which side it was, fell apart, and also the motorcycle when warm took an awful long time to start, like the valves were sticking or something was going on. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you're paying 16 and a half or nearly 17 grand for the Cafe Racer bike, it should be bang on, spot on. You should have reliability and it should be refined at that price. And the other thing that I think they've missed a trick on here, so both bikes you can get the same colour in the Cafe Racer or the Sport, as I said, being silver or black. So the Cafe Racer has clip-ons, and that's all that I can see on the spec. That's the difference between these bikes. So just for the clip-ons, you're paying, you know, another £499 or whatever it is, £500 near enough. So with me looking at a classic, definitely the Norton Commando doesn't come into it. Again, I think it's only got 5 gears. I don't think you've got cruise control or any rider aids. It's just got traction control, which is fine. I'm not a lover of all these electronics on a modern day classic. I think you should just keep it basic. So that one was out. The Royal Enfield was out. The only one that I really have set my heart on is the T120 Bonneville. So that's the one I will be getting. But it'll be interesting to ride the Norton. I have ridden the Royal Enfield Interceptor, and I'll pop a link to it just in the right hand corner just here. Take a look at that review. Lovely bikes, but it's just not for me. So we're just coming through Milnthorpe, just hanging up into the South Lakes today just to see family. But I thought, with it being lovely weather like today, yesterday was absolutely awful, rain all day, and I wanted desperately to get out and check the new ND4 filter that I've put on the Action 3. So I'm just interested now. Actually, the last video I put out with the Action 3, and with it being a new camera, always they release a camera, and I've noticed on DJI that they're a little overexposed. And myself and also Dave from Wheelie Good TV, if you haven't checked his channel out, I'll pop a link in the top right hand corner just here. Go and check Dave's channel out as well. He's a professional cameraman, and he's also moved over from GoPro to the DJI Action 3 camera. So we've been talking a lot to each other about tips and tricks and what I use and what he's been using in the past, and also audio options and things. So head over to Dave's channel. Like I say, really great channel, and hopefully next summer, whether I can get to Ireland or Dave will come over here, hopefully we'll get to meet up and do a little bit of a collaboration. Be great to meet up. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing how the exposure is on the camera now and the colours. And it's a beautiful time to be out on the motorcycle filming, with it being autumn and the leaves turning golden and dropping off the trees. Absolutely stunning. So just an example here. How's that look? How's the colours? Obviously I won't know until I get back to edit this video. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the Action 3 camera. Never have any issues with it, with corrupt files or SD cards failing or anything like that. Picture's always great. The only one thing is the sound is not fantastic if you're using a lavalier mic. So I would say the GoPro still wins with the media mod and a lavalier mic if you're looking for a simple setup. Now, coming up on next week's video, so while you're watching this, I'll be on a mini vacation with the wife. It's her birthday, so I've taken her to Tenerife to treat her for a long weekend. And we're out there actually with Easy Rider of Tenerife, the classic motorcycle rental company. If you have a look in the top right hand corner just here, you'll see my trip, which was I think last March that I went over there to ride some bikes with them, and also take out the awesome Motouk V7 Stone, the new 851 that they have on their fleet. They've got a great range of bikes, from Triumphs, Ducatis, Royal Enfields, and also Harley Davidsons. Motouk obviously as well. So if you're looking for a bit of a break, a bit of a getaway, Adam at Easy Rider has some awesome motorcycles that you can go and rent out. Head around the volcano on. Lovely part of the world to go. Temperatures always 20s and above all year round. So it's a great winter destination. But yeah, I thought I'd surprise the wife. Now, one of the things that we're actually doing, Adam from Easy Rider has added to the fleet a American muscle car, which is a, I think it's a 6.2 litre Camaro V8. So on this trip we won't be actually riding motorcycles, we'll be heading out in the convertible Camaro around the mountain and showing my wife around Tenerife, as she's never been. So we'll do a little video on that as well, show you the car. It's great if you've been out riding bikes with Easy Rider Tenerife and then you want to take your family back. Obviously grab a car from them as well, and a bit of a special motor. So we'll be getting some great 360 video footage of that car going over the volcano, so stay tuned for that next weekend. So we're just entering Grange-over-Sands, just passing the Netherwood Hotel and Spa just on the right hand side. Lovely place, and I'm looking forward to sharing the Tenerife trip with you next week, guys. So yeah, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button, ding that bell for future videos coming up, and also helps if you give the video a like, guys. So take care, have a great week at work, whatever you're doing, and I will catch you on another one soon. Cheers.